Do you want early access? Do you want uncut reactions? If so, then check out our Patreon. Link in the description down below. Omni-Man's kind of a dick from the looks of it. I mean, I don't know what's happening 100%, but...
Or something else is going on.
Maybe, but I don't know. But
I was wondering about him saying I was supposed to be this planet's sole protector. Like, I wonder if there's a fucked up, like, y'all need to fuck off, it's me, and only me type deal with
you
that.
think... I had a thought about this. You know, it was about a day after we watched this. I was driving down the road, and for some reason I was thinking of anime and all that, and then a very interesting thought popped into my head. What if Goku's story, except Goku didn't, like, bang his head and become good? On one hand, it almost looked like he was it seemed like he was reluctant for his son to get powers, and also that show of force against Mark, that show of force against him when he literally punched him so hard that he went down. It was almost like he wanted to show his son, like, hey, I'm still more powerful than you, don't fuck with me. Where he took out the Guardians, I was just like, Jesus. That's hands down, to me, like, one of the most violent things, like, a series of events I've seen anything related with comics.
That was probably one of the most over-the-top neck snaps I've ever seen.
And then there was the red, I forget his name, the Flash parallel.
Yeah, who just got his head crushed.
Yeah, and...
That was essentially Game of Thrones style.
Well, and he was punching Omni-Man in the chest so hard, so fast, yeah, he broke his hand. You literally could see his hands were broken. Yeah. And Omni-Man's, was getting internal injuries from that happening. And it also shows that Omni-Man is fallible. He's not God. He's not impregnable. He's
not quite as invincible as Superman.
But overall, yeah, this show, I'm all in. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen next.
It's never going to happen because they've already blown their load on it, and I know they can feel like they never get everybody else interested in it enough, but I want this animation studio to make their own Walking Dead adaptation.
You want to know the interesting thing? The people who run this, who do the animation for this, I actually looked it up. Skybound. And Skybound is owned by Robert Kirkman.
So it's his own animation studio. Okay.
He's actually animation / video gaming because he finished.
That's the whole thing now. Is it's probably like a whole rights thing because he's sold the rights for the show to AMC.
Whenever the rights dissolve,
if he has the rights to do it at some point, maybe he'll do it.
Well, whenever the rights expire, maybe he will be able to do his own version of it because AMC is running The Walking Dead into the ground.
Yeah,
I would say after the rights expire to AMC. Robert Kirkman will be able to do what he wants.
That's such a cash cow for them.
But let's get this started. This is episode 2. Here goes nothing. Oh, what the hell? They have invisible suits on?
Yep.
Whoa!
Fucking excuse me?
Yeah.
They have tech that can save a decapitated person?
Oh.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Just missing your dad. He didn't come home last night.
Mom, stop worrying. He probably got buried under a mountain again or something.
Don't be late for school.
We work with superheroes like your father. Keep the world safe. Who knows? Maybe someday we'll even work with...
Okay. All right. That's funny.
Who did this? We have no idea. Not yet, anyway. But we'll find out. And when we do, they're going to look a hell of a lot worse than your dad right over there. Someone murdered the Guardians of the Globe last night.
Oh my God.
All of them. Tore them limb from limb. And we tried like hell to bring them back. But no one was the only survivor.
How is that even possible?
We don't know yet.
Numerous contacts, heavy weaponry, multiple casualties.
Now, we're a little understaffed in the hero department.
Well, he's still green, but he's mean, what better time to step
He's
up?
also invincible.
Well, that's his name, but that's not necessarily, like... Oh, shit. Oh, dude. Something tells me they're not listening. You have to take action, man.
There you go.
Get her out of there.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Oh. Oh. New ones.
Eve, 2.5 seconds after this sentence, 3 enemy tanks will align 50 degrees to your right.
I got it.
Wait, that voice. Oh, it's Quinto. Spock from the new
is that
new
for
Star Trek.
Quinto?
Yeah, is that
Hey.
Quinto? I knew that sounded
Well, it's
super
actually
familiar.
Quinto. He's a good actor.
Yeah, I got eyes too, Robo.
Ah. Interesting.
Honorable intentions, but I am not positive we can handle this.
Her powers look very Green Lanternish.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know. What is this?
Looks like the whole, like,
War of the Worlds?
yeah, War of the Worlds deal.
Maybe so.
I don't know what just happened. I never want it to happen ever again!
Accurate.
She needs a doctor! Come on, give her to us.
Hey.
That's her.
Aha!
You and all the other stray boys in that 10-mile
Ex-girl.
radius. Good luck with that. And
Her
did you
ex-one.
just get
What's
your
her-
ass kicked last week for Amber Bennett?
Thanks for saving my butt back there. Yesterday, I mean.
Yesterday? Oh.
Oh, that was you.
You look like you need to talk about yesterday. I heard he just let Todd hit him like 20 times. He didn't flinch or anything. Todd got so freaked out he stayed home for 3 days.
Are you talking about Mark Grayson?
Duh.
I never recognized you before.
No one does. It's a psychology thing. If you don't expect to see a superhero in your school, you don't see a superhero in your school. People escaped because of you. And everyone freezes their first time. I used to throw up before every fight, barf my guts out. Why don't you come by and meet the team after school?
I reverse engineered their language using recordings from the battle.
Well, any idea why they left just when they were kicking our asses?
That's
I
impressive.
have 6 ideas. I believe that narrows it down to 1. For an alloy like this, that should take years.
Time runs faster wherever they come from. Yeah, man,
Because they were dying of old age.
get the hell out. Everyone.
Come on, you heard the director. Move it!
Whoa.
Come on out. I know you're there.
Wasn't hiding.
The hell?
Hellboy?
Sir, who the Damien Darkblood, Demon Detective.
Demon Detective. I like that.
Yeah, that's bitchin'.
7 superheroes murdered.
Damien Darkblood. That's an awesome name.
How does he? I don't know. Demon magic or something. If you're asking if we need your help,
Wasn't asking.
you're an atheist, Donald. Theo got
It's hard to be an atheist when you see a real demon, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, cool. Huh.
Cool.
You don't say.
Bang.
Welcome, Invincible. My name is Robot. Apologies for Explode. He's
Unbelievably awesome.
You say my name is Robot?
And rude.
Yes.
His name's just Robot.
I think so.
Invincible.
Since the Guardians are apparently indisposed. Invincible, may we count on you in the future?
You sure you want my help? Yeah, I mean, of course.
Her name's Maya.
Doesn't she have any family?
We've contacted them, yes, but this is a secure facility. She's not strong enough for us to transfer her to a normal hospital.
That's something.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be doing that?
Is Mark dating Eve Wilkins?
I wish. I
Bro.
don't know. Definitely not. She's got a boyfriend. He is super available. Want his number? I'll write it down.
Okay. Oh boy. Here we go. Oh. Okay.
Why aren't they getting old?
They seem to have discovered a way to resist our time stream.
In 3 days?
3 days for us, decades for them.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
Good shit, Eve. It seems that they've developed countermeasures for each hero. Uh-oh.
Yeah, kind of so.
Uh-oh. Ooh. Ouch. There you go. Help the rest of them out, man. Go, 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 go. Move, move, move. Oh, that's the countermeasure to their aging.
The wristbands protect them from our time stream. Destroy their wristbands.
There you go. Oh, he's gonna log into their frequency. There you go. Damn, robot. You too smart.
I gotta come back again now, though.
Jesus Christ.
I got mad, I guess. Don't get me wrong. That was amazing. But also, the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Everything okay?
I gotta go. Oh, no, that's fine. We'll handle the cleanup.
Mark!
Hey, son.
Dad!
Ow! Ribs. Hey, I need my costume back. I don't care how torn up it is. It's classified, and I want it back. Go get it. Now.
15 minutes till he's breathing our air. I wouldn't ask, Nolan. But with the Guardians gone...
I'll stop him.
Who's he? Nolan's been home a week, and you want to send him to space? No, you're still injured. I'll go.
Oh.
Hey, you're early. And you shaved your mustache.
Eat?
Tried this already. Hey,
Uh-oh. Ow.
maybe you'll do after all.
What are you talking about?
Are you using your timeout?
Why are you getting out?
Hey, I didn't get the rules.
What rules? I don't even know who you are.
Oh, you don't? All right. I'm an evaluation officer for the Coalition of Planets. So I drop my little dirt balls like yours to make sure there's someone capable of defending them against, planet-conquering monsters, things of that nature. Your planet signed up for the program. See? Request from Urath for evaluation.
Urath, this is Earth.
Oh.
Earth.
Yes.
So much truth. Oh, yeah? Little optimistic, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
I just fought you and I think you're quite invincible. I got a distress call from the Guardians. But when I arrived, everything seemed fine. Then the lights went out and someone attacked me. I fought with them until I passed out.
Must have been a pretty tough bastard to take you down. I've never seen you lose like that before.
Oh, great. Here we go again.
Sorry I kicked your ass.
I don't know what you're saying.
Amber Bennett also wants to know if you'd like her number.
What?
Do you want Amber's phone number, nerd?
Yes, but why are you...
Because she found some old photos of me, okay? Photos she said she'd delete if I did this one stupid thing.
Photos of what, Todd?
Don't push your luck, Chris.
Ew. Oh, he's back again. Damn
He's got
it.
a big fucking battle suit.
Their technology has advanced too far, and they've rendered themselves immune to our time stream. We should contact Cecil and suggest a nuclear response.
No.
What?
No way.
Dude, too much.
Nuking anyone, robot.
I love you, man, but sometimes you've got to screw loose.
I don't use screws. My fastenings are all magnetic interlocks.
Okay. Ow.
Invincible.
Ow. Yeah, I figured as much.
You okay, Mark?
Yeah.
My turn.
Oh shit!
Omni-Man's your dad?
Oh great!
I saved us from the Flaxens. He went into one of their portals.
Oh, so he'll be late for dinner?
You don't seem to understand. Earth isn't yours to conquer.
Oh. Shit! Oh! 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 Oh my! Oh jeez! Oh! 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 Oh my God!
I'm at a loss for how to report this, but the Guardians of the Globe are dead.
So I still don't understand the time thing because he grew a beard, like implying that like he aged slightly faster while he was there. But...
Well, again, dude, it's because of where they are. It's because of where that species is. Because he was there for an X amount of time, he was there.
Because I guess they were like, yeah, it was only like a day for us, but it was like, you know,
it was 3 days for us, but it was decades for them. Whereas for one evening,
so I guess he spent like a lot of fucking time like just decimating their entire planet, basically, and then he came back through the portal.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. At least a couple of years for him. And
I mean, he's so fast. I feel like it was probably more like a couple of weeks.
Probably.
And then like he came back through after decimating them after a couple of weeks.
And then just outright, and that's why he had the beard and everything, because he didn't have time to shave or anything like that while he was outright destroying everything.
Again, I feel like it's careful wording that's hinting that like he's like, you don't understand. Earth isn't yours to conquer. It's like, yeah, that's like something like a good superhero would kind of say to like the villains, is like, but it's also worded in a way like it could be mine to conquer.
That's what I'm thinking too, because how he like you said, how he worded it was very weird. It was very
like
careful.
A deliberate wording, like to make it kind of seem like, oh yeah, he's being like, yeah, I'm protecting Earth and.
Earth
like,
is
I mean, maybe it's going to turn out that like he didn't know what he was doing and everything, but I'm pretty sure there's like, you know, he's aware of what he was doing and he did it for a reason, and it was something probably kind of sinister.
I would say that, or maybe
like,
there's something else.
Like logistify, like in my head, like when he was talking to him about, like, yeah, so we get sent from this planet, right? And they designate a planet that we protect, and I was sent to be a sole protector. And I'm like, if you're going to conquer the planet, though, would you tell your son about that once he started manifesting powers? And I'm like, probably the safer route is to probably lie to them, because,
well, yeah,
like, you know, even though he's been raised on the planet, obviously his mom's an Earthling, he's got friends that are Earthlings, he doesn't want the planet to be conquered. So if you're straight up like, yeah, we were actually sent here to conquer this planet, he might have a problem with that at this point.
I would say that, yeah, because again, Mark is still developing as a hero, and he's still developing, because even though he's nowhere near as strong as his dad, I feel as though Mark could be a deterrent, and also we don't know how
even
Nolan
then,
would feel about fighting his own son.
Yeah, I don't know how would you secretly conquer a planet without him eventually finding out? It just doesn't seem like.
I don't know, man. Why don't we ask Hydra?
Because you're gonna just be like, yeah, we're sent here to conquer the planet. What's he gonna do about it? It's like he can be like, no, and then you can be like, yeah, what's gonna happen? It's like, you gonna stop me? Because obviously you're not. You just got your powers,
and you're still developing.
Yep.
And who's to say I can't kill you? I
don't have to kill you. I can just pull your arms and legs off. You can try to beat me by headbutting me to death eventually, but I doubt you're going to manage it.
Again, dude, there's just a lot at play, and a lot we don't know about Nolan, as a whole. I'm seeing the character development, what they're doing, it's almost they're telling a traditional hero story, and development with others, developing with other heroes. With Mark, Invincible, they're telling a more traditional story that way. Him, clumsily fumbling through, understanding his powers, what he can do, how he can be effective. And then you have what should be a mentor's story, but instead, the mentor seems to be hiding a lot more than what they normally do. Because normally they hide something away, it's like, I'm training you, and the big secret I'm hiding from you is that I secretly killed your father, or I obliterated this clan a long time ago, and they're seeking revenge on me now. But now, because we don't fully know the spectrum of what
the whole,
Nolan's...
there's something wrong with me, and I will only be around for X amount of time, and you have to be getting good enough to take my place in that amount of time.
That's another one too.
But it's not set up like that at all. It's that's why I really, really like this idea, because I'm like, this is really cool. It's obviously being like, hey, I appreciate things like the DC universe, because obviously, I'm giving very obvious tributes to the Justice League in this, and nods is Justice League is an inspiration for this, but I want to tell a very different superhero story than you're used to hearing, and I am totally on board for that.
I am too. I am completely on board with this. So
it's I like all of the nods to other things, and then all of the things that just go completely off the expectations of your usual superhero stories. And
not only that, but we're also getting introduced to very interesting characters in their own right. Because, we have other human characters with developments. Amber, they're developing her as sort of a potential romantic interest for Mark, because she's showing interest in Mark. And then you have Mark's friend who, they developed to be someone who is very empathetic to Mark and actually cares about what happens with Mark. And then you had the interactions with the other heroes, with Adam Eve, and then you had Rex and Duplicate, and then Robot. Robot, by the way, being one of my new favorite side characters in this, because the deadpan. Oh yeah, and the demon Damien Darkblood. Dude, voiced by Clancy Brown.
It's essentially Sherlock Hellboy.
That's what I was thinking too. It's it's if Hellboy became Sherlock Holmes.
Similar to Hellboy's design, so I think he's also a nod to Hellboy as well.
I would say so, and plus, Robert Kirkman
is
such a cool huge concept. Fan of
I'm
Mike
immediately
Mignola.
Make a spin-off series with that guy.
I want to see that too.
Yeah, I want to see Demon Detective.
I do too. I do too. I wanted a Spectral Detective, just shit like that.
This is also answering a question I kind of had in my own mind a long time ago that I had given myself kind of a bad answer for, I guess. But a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago or something, I was like, I'd really like to try my hand at writing my own superhero comic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just trying to come up with ideas for heroes, and I was like, fucking everything's been done already. Or it just sounds really fucking lame when I come up with it. But this is kind of showing that, it's okay to just take a lot of inspiration from stuff that has been done already, as long as you put your own spin on it.
Well, yeah. Dude, some of the greatest stories in history are reworks. For instance, Lion King is Hamlet. Lion King is literally Hamlet, verbatim, but with lions.
I just always worry about like trying to do it, and then it ends up being in a form that like someone looks at it and they're like, that's obviously Batman, like, or that's obviously, you know.
Well, and the thing is, you can have like,
but
I wouldn't make that like the main thing. For instance, Darkwing in this, you know, he was Batman.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. Is I was like, well, those are obviously those characters, but they're tributes to those characters, and this isn't obviously like Justice League. This is something completely unique.
Well, Justice League also called themselves the Guardians,
like a nod to like, hey, yeah, we respect superhero comics. And
well, yeah, and truth is, I mean, there's been characters that have come out over the years that have, like, there's ones that I hope get more and more exposure as they go forward. For instance, Moon Knight. I'd love to see a Moon Knight like series or movie that they do, because Moon Knight is fucking awesome.
Heard the name and a little bit about them, but I don't really know much about them.
Moon Knight is basically, he's a detective.
Is it DC?
No, he's Marvel. He's a there's him and Darkhawk and a lot of other like Marvel characters that are very interesting if only they got a chance in the limelight. Yeah. Moon Knight, his thing is, he's stronger the more the moon is full, and he's a detective, and that he gets his powers from like the lunar, you know, like the lunar cycle, and it's actually really interesting. And they actually come up with some really interesting stories for him. But there's also certain characters whom I hope they rework and they make work in a better light. For instance, James Proudstar, Thunderbird, or Warpath, depending on which continuum you want to go with. He is like probably to me one of the best Native American characters, who is just, he's super interesting. He's not super overpowered, and the fights that he gets into, he like has the interests of his tribe at heart, but he also seeks to understand and come to a conclusion that, yeah, maybe my tribe, you know, we're stuck in our ways, and we should still be able to do that, but we shouldn't impede on others. They always did good parallels with his story, and also he had to fight his brother to the death in one comic, and it was heartbreaking to see like him have to fight his brother and just them tear each other apart. But again, there's so many comic ideas out there, and there's the way that Marvel has tried to take it. Like, I've seen the stuff that Marvel's tried to come out with, and it's just made me just shake my head and just question, like, why in the hell this is a thing. And then I see interesting stories being told in like webcomics online, like One Punch Man. That's how One Punch Man started. One Punch Man was literally a garbagely drawn comic, or like web comic, but the story was so good people didn't care how bad the drawings were. It's because the guy who wrote it also illustrated it, and he couldn't draw. But thankfully, it got popular enough, he was able to hire an actually really good illustrator, and then they redid it, and now look at where One Punch Man is now.
I used to actually draw comics, quote unquote, in high school, and I couldn't draw either, so like my comics were all like stick figures.
Hey, dude, stick figures are awesome. Ask
stick
Katana
figures,
and Cam.
Yeah, they were usually stick figures decorated in a certain way so that you can tell who they were supposed to be, and they were mostly based off of like me and my group of friends and stuff, or like characters from video games sometimes. Like for example, we had like Fear had come out around that time, and me and my friend Louie liked Fear a lot.
Yeah,
and so we did different things with like the Fear guards and also the Combine from Half-Life 2.
Damn.
And, so you have like their little helmets, so you can tell that's a Combine, but they have a stick figure body, because like that was just the easiest way to draw the comics quickly and get across little jokes that we wanted to tell.
Yeah, I get you.
It's like I remember the bird flu was like a thing at some point, and my buddy Louie drew a little short comic that was just like these guys busting in a door, and it's just a fucking chicken coop. There's a chicken sitting there, and the chicken just looks at them, and it goes. And he's like, oh, and whips out a flamethrower and just starts torching the place.
Jesus. Another one. There's dude. My friend Jello back in the day. He did comics. He had one. It was The Adventures of Bob and Chang, and Bob was like it had a huge nose, and one of them was like Bob and Chang driving down the road, and they got a flat tire, and Chang got out to change the tire, and he put the tire on backwards, and Chang was just like, wait, you mean tire is supposed to face out and not face in? Oh, it was actually pretty funny, but again, just the fact that people do that and it's just like me getting into screenwriting, dude, and me just getting into writing, period. I had moments where I wrote stories that I looked back on after I was finished, and I was just like, this is fucking awful. What did I do wrong? And then I would like dissect it. It's about perfecting yourself, because no one's going to hit a home run straight off the bat. I mean, J.D. Salinger like had so many manuscripts done before he finally published Catcher in the Rye, and it's now considered one of the greatest of all time. And ever since then, he did, and until the time of his death, he did nothing. He just wrote more and more manuscripts and threw them in a vault. That's all he did. I mean, how you do your art is completely up to you. And for a lot of people out there, for the vast majority of people out there, it takes time. It takes time to develop.
One of the most difficult things for me too is I always want to throw horror into stuff just because I'm a big horror fan. And
that's fine.
It's really hard to convey horror without having good art skills. You know what I mean? In comic form.
Commanding
in
shadows.
Text form, it would be easier, but like if I wanted to make a horror comic,
yeah,
like that's the difficult part. Because the reason Junji Ito's comics work so fucking well is because of the amazing amount of detail he puts into those drawings.
Well, details, and also how he commands shadows, like the harsh shadows. Like under people's eyes.
I'm very bad at lighting and shit when I draw stuff too. Like, so shading is not my strong point at all.
And here's the thing: I took an art class. Well, my mom's an artist, dude. My mom's an art teacher. She taught me very important things about shading and how it can literally change the conveyance of a piece of art. And she was right, because when something is so clean, pristine, has very little, no shadows to it, it's just like, oh, this is something. It's meant to draw my attention and make me feel pleased by the sight of this thing. But then she added some shadows here and there, and like some harsh shadows, and like added like sharp lines and everything. It's like, ooh, okay, so this actually makes me feel like a little iffy about like this piece now. Like the street that I was looking at, like it was a street that it was an alleyway. The alleyway looked nice. It looked all right when all the light was on it, but then when she added the shadows and like the sharp, jagged shadows and everything, it was like, ooh, that becomes creepier. And it's all about how to command that. And Kirkman was also, when he was working with Charlie Alderd in the beginning of making The Walking Dead, commanding of the shadows whenever things got serious, like super serious, it like underneath the character's eyes and having them like lurching their face in the shadows and stuff like that when they're about to do something terrible. Yeah, I love stuff like that.
And a lot of Walking Dead too was just the it was the detail on the zombies and stuff that did the good horror for it, because they had very unique like decompositions and injuries, or either post or pre-mortem injuries and stuff, that it was a gore thing, kind of like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to describe, but I mean, that's kind of what I appreciated about it, is just, it was like, oh, that's like fucking brutal. Like, these zombies look terrifying.
Indeed, they do.
As opposed to even though it inspired the whole genre, like you look back to like Night of the Living Dead, and most of the zombies are just gray, like people, just all look kind of just
what drew
a little disheveled at most, as opposed to like having like fucking limbs dragging behind them and
it's because again they had like a very, very low budget for that film back then.
Oh, yeah.
And what drew people in was the fact that they added the decomposition look to them. You see, the characters, they were very animated. That's like when you see the one female character who like makes all the dumb decisions in the movie. You see her, she's like, just does that all the time. Whereas the zombies are like, yes, and that's all, and that's how they were able to convey that with stuff like that. Again, dude, Romero, that's another person who only got better when it at least in the 70s he got better, because you go back and you look at the original Night of the Living Dead and then you look at Dawn of the Dead, and it's just like, holy shit, what a stark contrast, because it's just like everything just gets amped up to 10 or 11.
Huge step up from Night of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah. And then unfortunately,
Night of the Living Dead is more one of those movies. Is like, I appreciate it for kind of starting everything off with zombies, and then Dawn of the Dead is just like, that's the first really fucking amazing zombie movie.
It's one of them, yeah. It's up there, but yeah,
basically the first 10 out of 10 zombie movie.
The one that knocked it out of the park, effectively.
And then like since then you've had not really very many zombie movies that actually hit a 10 out of 10. There's movies that use zombies as an inspiration, but if you're talking like true to form, like The Living Dead,
classic Romero style zombies,
you basically only got Dawn of the Dead's remake.
Well, then they had to change it up with like the sprinting zombies.
They were running and stuff, but they're still at least like Living Dead, But, and then you got only that I can really think of is fucking Train to Busan. Since then,
Train to Busan, I would say, is up there.
The rest of them have been kind of like meh. I heard there was one other really good one, and I can't actually recall the name of it, but it looked like it took place like out in the desert or something. But I can't remember the name.
I know that's not Resident Evil 3.
But I heard a lot of people say it was really good, and I still keep forgetting to check it out. It's definitely not one of the Resident Evil movies. Resident Evil movies are trash zombie movies.
Oh,
they're not even zombie.
What a missed opportunity those movies are.
Yeah, but there's like the other films that Romero put out like later on. Like,
I'll say this:
okay.
Day of the Dead is not good. Land of the Dead
was okay.
Land of the Dead was okay. And then the one where he did like the found footage style after that, the one with like,
I didn't even watch that one.
That one was just not good, dude.
Zombie Diaries or whatever.
Yeah, Diary of the Dead.
Yeah, Diary of the Dead. That
and here's the thing: there were parts of it that were amazing, but then there were certain parts where the main character,
Shaun of the Dead, which is really only 10 out of 10 because of the comedy. But not necessarily because it's a good zombie movie.
It's a great parody of all the like zombie movies that have come before.
But your other 10 out of 10 is like 28 Days Later, which is not really zombies.
That's the other thing.
And then what was the other one? There was one more that had kind of like a like they were like walkers or whatever, but they were still technically like just infected with a disease. They weren't really living dead, but it was actually pretty good.
The only thing I think it was World War Z, but no. I forget.
There was another one, I swear, but I'm can't.
Hold on. Let's. Best zombie movies. Let's see. 12 best zombie movies ever made by IndieWire. Okay, IndieWire, you're on the block. Let's see what you got. Skip ad. Let's see. We have Dawn of the Dead. Okay. Little Monsters. That's one that I really liked a lot.
I've never seen that.
It's great. I'm not going to ruin it. Paranorman, that's also kind of a zombie movie. The Girl with All the Gifts, I have not seen that. Huh.
I haven't either.
Night of the Living Dead, okay. And then there's Last Man on Earth in 1964. That's before Romero, so...
I've never seen that.
Ojuju, It's based in Africa. Or Nigerian. Okay. So that's a Nigerian film about zombies. 28 Days Later, of course. Cemetery Man. Oh, is that one Italian? It looks like it's Italian. Train to Busan. Okay. That one's up there for you. Shaun of the Dead.
I'll put Train to Busan higher on the list than number 8.
Zombie in 1979.
Fulci, of course.
Yeah.
So that's actually a
There it is! Wreck. That's the one I can't remember.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
And by the way, not the English dub.
Not the
fucking shitty ass English dub or English version.
The original Wreck
Quarantine.
is fucking badass.
Yes, it is.
And
I
I
fucking
think
love
actually those might actually be Living Dead. I don't think it's ever really specified.
They are no, it is specified. They're possessed. They're effectively like a demon. Like the original girl got possessed by a demon, and she's basically whenever she bites them or scratches them, they turn.
Did they explain that in the first movie?
Second one.
Okay, that's why, because I only ever watched the first one.
I see. Yeah, the second one introduces a lot of really cool stuff. It's not as good as the first, but it's still really good.
Rabbit was good, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Oh, it's Cronenberg, of course. Yeah. And then Reanimator. Holy shit.
I don't really consider that a zombie movie.
It kind of is, but isn't. Yeah.
Also, the book is a lot better.
Fair.
I mean, the book is different, but it's better. But it's still a good movie.
I Walked with a Zombie, 1943. It's the French. Woo! Damn. And then Dawn of the Dead, number 1, Romero. Go figure. So there you go. Wreck. That was the other one I couldn't think of.
Surprised they didn't put the Dawn of the Dead remake separately on the list.
Well, they. I think it's because it's different enough to the original. I think it's different enough from the original to warrant it being on here.
Yeah.
But you really need to watch Little Monsters. It's actually a zombie comedy, but it is actually like fucking awesome. And then, of course, Dawn of the Dead remake, which, yeah.
It's one of the other really good zombie comedies that has come out was the Scout Survival Guide.
That one was all right. I liked it. I gave it like an 8 out of 10.
Cracked me up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you all enjoyed. And hopefully we will see you all in the next one. This was Invincible Season 1, Episode 2. Here goes nothing. And I guess we'll see you then, everyone.
I apologize for all the zombie talk. Since the dude that made The Walking Dead made this, it's probably going to happen a few times as we watch this.
And I'm not against it, dude. And hopefully they won't mind it. So, again, everyone, thank you for tuning in. I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
See you then, everyone. Peace out.